As dawn gently broke, the narrow stone-paved streets of ancient Rome began to stir. Gaius slowly opened his eyes in his small, humble home. Sunlight filtered softly through the window, warming the quiet room. He took a deep breath, breathing in the stillness of the new day. He slipped into a soft woolen tunic, feeling the cool morning air on his skin. The fresh scent of herbs from the garden surrounded him. Stepping outside, he walked calmly along the narrow stone streets, listening to the city slowly come alive. Arriving at the bustling forum, he greeted a few familiar neighbors. Each face held stories from the past, warm with lived experience. The tall columns of surrounding temples whispered quietly of Rome's power and glory. Turning to his work, Gaius settled at his bench with patient hands. He shaped clay into pots and vessels, carefully crafting each detail with practiced skill. From afar, the sounds of the city reached him. The joyful laughter of children, the smell of fresh bread from nearby ovens, and soft melodies played on a lyre. As midday approached, he retreated to his small garden. With a light meal of cheese, fresh vegetables, and a cool sip of wine, he refreshed himself. Closing his eyes, he let the distant music and gentle breeze soothe his spirit. In the afternoon, he visited the public baths. He relaxed in the warm water, shared stories with friends, and washed away the day's fatigue. The baths were a place where both bodies and souls found renewal. As evening fell, Gaius returned home. He joined his family at the table, sharing laughter and stories that lightened the day's burdens. The warmth of the room and love surrounding him filled his heart with peace. As night fell and Gaius drifted into sleep, his thoughts lingered on the excitement of the day. Tomorrow, he planned to visit the grand amphitheater. There, he would watch the gladiators, fierce warriors who captivated the city with their strength and skill. Among them, he had a favorite fighter, whose story was both inspiring and full of mystery, Titus Drusus. The sun rises high above the city of Rome, casting long shadows over the grand amphitheater. Titus Drusus awakens in the modest quarters reserved for gladiators. The air is cool, filled with the distant sounds of the bustling city and the low murmurs of other fighters preparing for the day. He stretches his strong limbs, feeling the familiar ache of yesterday's training. Each scar on his skin tells a story, a reminder of battles fought, lessons learned, and strength gained. As he dons his armor, Titus's mind drifts to the crowd that will soon fill the stands. Their cheers, their gasps, their unyielding gaze. The arena is not just a place of combat, it is a stage where honor, courage, and survival intertwine. His morning begins with rigorous training. The clang of swords, the thud of shields, and the steady rhythm of his breath fill the air. Yet, amidst the struggle, Titus finds calm in the discipline, a harmony between body and spirit. A brief respite follows, where Titus sits quietly, sipping cool water and reflecting on his journey. He recalls his humble beginnings, the path that led him here, and the dreams that keep his spirit alive. The sun climbs higher as the amphitheater gates open. Titus steps onto the sandy floor, heart steady, eyes focused. The roar of the crowd swells, a tide of energy that both challenges and empowers him. Each movement, each strike, is a dance, precise, deliberate, and fueled by determination. Though the battles are fierce, Titus fights not just for survival, but for glory and respect. As the day ends and the crowd disperses, Titus returns to his quarters. Exhausted but unbroken, he allows himself a moment of quiet reflection. The life of a gladiator is harsh and uncertain, yet within it lies a profound strength and honor. Tonight, under the Roman stars, Titus Drusus rests, ready to face whatever challenges tomorrow may bring. The morning sun filtered through the high barred windows of the barracks. Titus Drusus awoke without a sound. His eyes opened slowly, adjusting to the dim light that stretched across the stone walls. Around him, other gladiators still slept, some murmuring, others silent like statues. He sat up and let his feet touch the cool floor. The day of the arena had come. Without hurry, he dressed. First, the light tunic. Then, the worn leather straps across his forearms. Each movement was slow, deliberate, like a quiet ritual. He stepped outside into the training yard. A cool breeze met him, carrying the distant scent of olive trees and sand. The yard was empty this early, just the soft hum of the city waking beyond the walls. Titus walked to the far end, where a small shrine stood, not for gods of war or glory, but for peace. A single candle flickered. He stood there for a long time, eyes closed, breathing slow and deep. He did not fear the arena, not anymore, but he respected it. The sand remembered everything, every name, every sound, every final breath. Later, he sat alone to eat. Bread, olives, water, no feast, just what was needed. A calm before the storm. Hours passed in silence. When the time came, a guard opened the barrack gate. Titus stood. Without words, he followed. The path to the arena was familiar. Stone corridors, echoing footsteps, the growing sound of the crowd above. Then, the gates. He waited behind them, alone. The muffled roar of voices seeped through the wood. His hand rested on his sword's hilt, not from fear, but memory. He thought of the first time he stood here, younger, uncertain. Now, he was known. Titus Drusus, the silent one. The gate opened. Light poured in. The sun, hot and golden, struck his face. The crowd rose in waves of sound, but he didn't hear them. Not really. He stepped forward into the sand, breathing in slowly. This was his stage, his rhythm, his silence. The arena's sands lay warm beneath the golden sun as Titus Drusus stepped forward. His breath was steady, controlled. Each heartbeat echoed softly in his ears, guiding his movements like a quiet drum. Opposite him, a towering figure waited, muscles rippling with silent strength. The crowd's roar was distant thunder, muffled by the calm that settled within Titus. He slowly raised his shield, feeling the weight of history in his hands. The first clash was a whisper, metal sliding against metal, neither rushing, both measuring each other. Titus moved with the grace of years, every step deliberate, a dance of survival. Sweat traced silent paths down his brow, but his eyes remained clear and focused. Blow after blow came, light but firm, the arena seeming to hold its breath. At one moment, Titus faltered. A sharp pain bit through his side, but he steadied himself, refusing to yield. The fight went on, the sun casting shifting shadows across the sand, painting their silent struggle in light and dark. Finally, with a graceful but decisive strike, Titus was overcome. He fell slowly, like a leaf drifting to the ground, his eyes closed softly as the world around him faded. The crowd's roar faded to a murmur, and the arena grew silent once more. Titus Drusus, once a fearless warrior, now lay alone in the sand. Few were near him, his family long gone. Yet, far beyond, there was one who held him in her heart. Livia. She was the last light, the final hope in Titus's world, and his story would continue, carried by her. As the sun slowly set over the stone streets of Rome, the city began to take on the quiet weight of the day's end. Narrow alleys still buzzed softly with life, vendors closing their stalls, children returning home, and night gently wrapping the city. Livia walked silently amidst this moving world. Her heart felt heavy. The quiet weight of Titus's absence rested upon her shoulders. Yet life in Rome never truly paused. The streets, closing one day, held the promise of another, each corner ripe with a new story. Once Titus walked these very streets, now he lived on in memories. His calm steps, his strength and courage still burned brightly in Livia's heart. She stopped before a small house in the city's heart. Inside, life went on. As the birds prepared for night, Livia took a deep breath and closed her eyes softly. Rome prepared for Titus's farewell. Wrapped in white cloth, adorned with flowers and incense, his body would soon be carried through the streets. Mourners would gather, whispering stories of love and loss, sharing the silent language of grief. In her hand, Livia held a small token, a simple braid of hair. Pressed close to her heart, it was her anchor. In the stillness of night, she whispered a prayer, hoping Titus's spirit would find peace. City lights dimmed slowly, but Livia knew neither the noise of life nor memories ever truly fade. A life that began in Rome quietly came to its end in Rome. Yet the story would live on, in Livia's heart, in the endless streets of the city, and in the soft whispers of the night.